All right, man. It's official. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are my Roman Empire. Karma is the guy on the Chiefs. Stole the internet this weekend. But more so, it's the way they act. It's the way they act that really got everyone talking. Fell into each other's arms, stole America's heart. They are now the official, unofficial maybe, king and queen of America. I guess while I scroll on TikTok and talk about Pookies and it's the way they act, Samir gets asked to speak at conferences. How was your conference, man?
It was good, man. It was good. It got to go to a Path to Purchase Institute conference last week. It's a very specific to commerce, CPG, retail type of conference. Got to share the stage with the chief customer officer at Drizzly, the alcohol delivery service. So it's pretty cool. They were acquired by Uber a few years back, so there's a lot of momentum. Obviously, we talked about online grocery shopping last week, so what they're doing is really forward thinking. I feel like it's changing a lot of how retail works in alcohol. We talked about the power of creativity in an increasingly digital world. Sounds a little bit corny and academic in nature, but it was fun. Got to run into a bunch of old coworkers. It's conferences like these where you realize how small the industry is that we work in. We just kind of run into each other, and people are at different places. But when we get together, it's all just back to normal. It's kind of nice.
Nice. Sounds like a ball. Let's get into it, man.
Let's do it.
Men go mad.
Who's gone mad?
Mad Men.
You're mad.
The man's mad.
Mad Men.
I'm mad.
So, first stud or stud. Amazon and Meta have partnered to link Facebook and Instagram accounts with Amazon, enable on-platform commerce, and share data for ad targeting. Here's how this changes for you users out there. Previously, ads on Facebook and Instagram would link to the product page on Amazon's mobile app. Now, users will be shown a stripped-down version of the Amazon product page within Facebook or Instagram. You can now seamlessly buy Amazon products without ever leaving Facebook or Instagram, and you'll experience more relevant ads. So what do we think, dud or stud?
I mean, this is obviously revolutionary, like amazing stud move. But we've been talking about social commerce blowing up in the industry, but this is like a monumental shift. There's so many possibilities and implications of this partnership, but let me highlight a few of my favorites. Number one, this just gave Amazon's Buy with Prime feature a huge push. For those of you who don't know, Buy with Prime is Amazon's way of extending those Prime shopping benefits to private merchant online stores. So think log in with Facebook for random websites when they ask you to create it, but for shopping. So it allows merchants to use Amazon membership, user payment information, seamless checkout, Amazon fulfillment on their private merchant online stores. That is outside of Amazon.com. It launched in April of 2022, and it never really took off. So Buy with Prime is at the core of this integration with Meta, and it gives users that convenience of having a trusted purchase mechanism embedded within their social media experience. Really reduces the friction in the buying process. So now what you're truly able to see on something on Instagram and you want to buy it, you can use Amazon to buy it with a click of a button. And we used to say that before, but now it really is just that. Number two, in an era where data is king, Meta now will have a gold mine of consumer behavior insights. In a world where Apple has made it extremely difficult to gather detailed conversion data on iOS 14 devices and later, Meta will now have full funnel conversion data all within their app, making closed loop measurements so powerful and will really enhance that effectiveness of those ad campaigns. And then the last one, my favorite, Meta is sticking to what they are so damn good at, and that's advertising and user engagement, not retail. Meta's e-commerce strategy of the past has been filled with experimentation, adaptation. They introduced and then later retracted the shop tab. They've tweaked that live shopping feature. They had some cool moments and features, but it never really became an established function of their platform. Now, this is Meta fully acknowledging, hey, standing up a commerce platform is really difficult. So we are going to stick to what we know and let Amazon handle the hard commerce part. I think this is huge. I think everyone in the industry is talking about this. I think you as users out there are going to see a huge difference in how you guys are able to shop within Meta. So I'm really impressed with this. I think it was almost a long time coming. when you see two behemoths of this size come together like this, more than just marketing and advertising, but the data share, the shared user experience, the kind of handoff of what one company is really good at to the next. I think it's a really smart move.
Yeah, this is clearly a let's stick it to Apple, TikTok, and TikTok Shop play. I would say this is a win-win-win for all parties involved. Amazon gets to sell more. Meta gets its data access again, which it lost a few years back with, as you said, iOS 14. And it's a win for Amazon sellers. So we actually quit Amazon some time back. It was just hard to acquire customers. We do really well on Instagram and showing our organic content that drives a lot of our sales. Now, if I just enable buy with Prime, send Amazon a few of my some inventory, I can link that product in my feed, and now they can buy with Prime and get it with their detergent or whatever. So positioning products is just going to become so easy for sellers. And honestly, I think Amazon will get a slew of new Amazon sellers because of this as well.
Yeah, I think this was much needed for Amazon to try to break off of their own and operated website and try to get into those third-party private retailers. I think they tried that with Buy Prime, but I think the push that this is going to give that feature is the data and connectivity that now you can get with Meta Insights. I think that's going to be huge. You're going to see the big brands obviously like love this, and now we're talking like full funnel measurement all the way down. For those of you guys who kind of new to the social ad targeting space, there is so much fueling how people reach you on Facebook and Instagram. But one of the biggest challenges has always been to be able to track offsite engagement. So when you click on an ad on Instagram, it takes you to a private website that Facebook and Instagram can't really track your activity on anymore. And that tended to be an Amazon detail page or a third-party page that was powered by like a Shopify. Now it's everything stays together. Now, Meta gets everything. They're going to be able to track it. Their brands can optimize against it. They know what ads are working. They're testing. Like this is going to be huge on the back end of what you see on those ads moving forward. And like you said, I think users are going to win with this too. Like now you can have that seamless shopping integration. You don't have to go and enter your credit card on a different website or create a different account to do it. And then they're spamming you with their CRM. Like no, this all stays within Meta. Brands get the sell, users get the experience, Meta gets the data, everyone's happy.
Yeah. Huge move.
It's hard to think of a dud for that one, but let me take us to our next one. All you Mad Men fans out there, I want to do a little exercise with you. Think of the one word that you absolutely hate. That one word, that one sound that comes out of someone's mouth that when they say it, it just makes you cringe. Because that word that you're thinking of, moist, well, guess what? There's a brand out there that wants to make moist the Merriam-Webster word of the year. That's right. Kraft Real Mayo delivered a massive tub of its mayo bearing a Real Moist logo to Merriam-Webster's headquarters and announced its intention to win the word of the year honor. So on November 18th, the brand is going to host a search-a-thon live stream on Twitch with gaming influencers to encourage viewers to search the word moist as much as possible to boost the term's visibility. Paid social ads and on-the-ground canvassers are going to further raise awareness. This campaign aligns with Kraft Real Mayo's marketing that always plays into these controversial topics, mayonnaise being among them. And the push is trying to unite mayo freaks and promote polarizing condiments and words everywhere. Real Kraft Mayo just loves playing into these random debate topics, and they do it so well. They do it so creatively. So what do you think of the? Is this stunt a dud or stud?
I think it's a dud. It seriously seems like a campaign that Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother did. Like, when he did that whole play for Lily and just said the word moist over and over. It's totally random, and I agree with you that this is something that's totally common now with companies. They do these random things, and this is just one of them. But why this word? And that's why I'm just like, why moist? There's some annoying words out there, and I get it. Moist is just like uniformly like a just annoying word. But I'm thinking of like, why not the word squirt? Like squirt could work. Squirt is an annoying word to say. And it actually goes with Mayo because of squirting Mayo out of a bottle. I don't know. I think they could have actually made a connection to their product through this, but sure. Let's see how this works. I may be eating my own words and putting mayo on it.
Yeah, I was looking for that too, to be honest. Like, is there something about moist? Do they want to be described as moist? Like, do they want that kind of connection to that adjective to what they do or with their product? But I lost that too. I just think this is a really interesting and creative thing because I feel like the controversy that is around the word moist. I think there is that avid group who just hates it. I think by the time how many times that we've already said it, I think a lot of you are already cringing at this and may want to turn us off, but thank you for not. And then there's the other side that just doesn't get why people hate it, right? That's like the debate. It's not that it's a good sounding word or a bad sounding word. Like, those aren't the two sides of the take. It is, why are you so annoyed by this word? And the other side of it being like, I don't know why, but this really makes me feel icky. And I think it's just a fun debate that's just getting a lot of conversation going, of just like reintroducing this, like all of their kind of search hacking tactics that they're doing behind it to try to get people to search for it and kind of rig the system. I don't think Merriam-Webster is going to fall for this and do anything with it. But just the fact of trying to play that game and go to the authority of the dictionary to try to make this into something, I think it's just a super smart move from a brand standpoint to try to fuel more of those controversies. And I don't know why mayonnaise is also a controversial thing. Like, I like it, but I know a lot of you guys out there don't and avidly hate it, but just like the word moist. But I just thought there was some good synergies there with kind of how they like to market and finding the next cool little cultural stunt to do.
Yeah, I think it's definitely polarizing when you think about it. You're right. It will drive some conversation, maybe more so than squirt. All right, let's move to the next one. SiriusXM is rebranding. They introduced the return of the dog that used to appear in its logo years ago, named Stella, as part of a larger brand refresh that includes a new logo, new consumer app with upgraded tech, new content, and new brand partnerships designed to attract younger generations of listeners. As the parent company for Pandora, SiriusXM's current primary audience is made up of radio native Gen Xers and older, and their growth audience as younger, more diverse audio consumers. The rebrand just isn't a new design, but it's an overhaul of the consumer app. New personalized For You content, rich content from SiriusXM Radio, music from Pandora, and podcasts from Stitcher. A roster of new artist-led content like Kelly Clarkson, John Mayer, Shaggy, Olivia Rodrigo, Cardi B, and Metallica. Also new partnerships with Audible, Pulsar, and Hilton, meant to expand its distribution inside and out of cars. What do you think, Samir? Dud or stud?
I have one response to this. Finally, SiriusXM is finally getting their shit together and doing something smart and forward thinking. Contrary to their brand perception, SiriusXM is not a satellite radio company. They are an audio company. And this rebrand is a full embrace of that ambition. They absolutely needed to age down their core audience and repackage their audio offerings in a way that makes it the leader in audio. That's radio, music, and podcast. They have learned that young listeners don't favor genres, which is what SiriusXM and Pandora specialize in. They want personalized recommendations. They don't want hip-hop radio. They want a deal radio. And that means flipping its entire product on its head. Their very first key product differentiator when they started was their recommender engine for music. They were an engineering company that built this recommender technology that no one wanted to license. So they launched their own music discovery tool with it, and it took off. Now Pandora uses AI, just like everyone else. There really was nothing proprietary about Pandora anymore. Why I think this is a stud move is because I think SiriusXM has everything it needs to be a successful audio company. They have the brand awareness. They have the subscription model. They have the content library, the integrated partnerships, the B2B selling relationships with auto and other industries that gets them that distribution. And now they are introducing a real solid package of audio products. Oh, and profitability, by the way, for the last 3 years straight. Friendly reminder to all you guys out there, Spotify is 5 times larger than Pandora, and it's still not profitable. The only thing that they have been missing is a relatable brand to the next generation of listeners. And I love to see them finally move into that direction, that they have gone beyond that radio subscription free trial that comes with your new car and then people cancel, or kind of being seen as a commercial radio service. I think it was about time that they really changed their brand to be more consumer facing, because I really like the business model that they have, like the strategic selling relationships that they have. And then you mentioned some of the ones that they are expanding to beyond that. I think it's a really smart move to get their audio product in the right places. But it's always served as that purpose. And now they're putting that consumer lens on it. They're repackaging services into a way that gives it the full audio platform they should be, integrating all these pieces together. I think it's a really smart move. The profitability piece is huge. Like we always have to remember that these brands are in the business of making money. And while we know that a lot of the biggest players out there are big for good reason, they're not always good businesses. And that's one thing I've always been really impressed with Pandora and Sirius, is that they have always been good business for the size that they are. And now we're talking some real game-changing things that it's going to make them explode again.
Yeah, I think there's just so much to do for Sirius to be relevant. There's, profitability aside, if they want to age down, why Kelly Clarkson, why Metallica, why John Mayer? I think when they say younger, I think they might be thinking young professionals and millennials, perhaps. And that's fair. I mean, that's if that's what they mean by that, that's great. But you're right. I think I've always loved Pandora. It does kind of pull some of those, the randomness of my listening. I'll get some country music and some Drake and some Adele if I need it, right? And then some Beethoven. I mean, it all just kind of blends together, and you do get that because it's a learning music platform, and it'll learn from what you like. And so if they do play into that, I hope they create a good campaign to remind people of why Pandora and Sirius XM, like they have that technology to provide to them. Maybe this For You component will be their thing.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the artist and content creator community reacts to this. Like, is this going to get their attention? If I remember right, Spotify is notoriously poor at paying their artists. They purely go off of the volume of activity and listeners that they have access to. But as far as the revenue that an artist can generate per stream, Spotify falls at the bottom of the list. I think at the top of the list is Tidal, and Pandora is up there as well. So I'm interested to see if this is going to get some of the artists' attention now that Pandora is kind of repackaging this, building out kind of this full-fledged marketing campaign and a whole rebrand positioning. I think it's worth all artists out there to give it another shot. I think a lot of people have accepted Spotify's rate, and it's kind of sucked, but it kind of became a place where you have to be as an artist, even though you're not going to get the revenue that you deserve per stream. So I think that's going to be that next move is, what is the artist going to think about this? And are they going to double down with Pandora once again? We'll find out.
We will. All right. We're going to go into our brands to watch. Let's go ahead and get into it. This device has Steve Jobs rolling in his grave. Former Apple engineers have banded together to build a company called Humane. And last week, they announced a new product called the AI Pen. The AI Pen is a wearable smartphone alternative that uses artificial intelligence to help users stay connected and productive without having to rely on a screen. It is a small, square device that can be clipped onto clothing or other surfaces. It comes with a virtual assistant that can be used to make phone calls, send texts, take pictures, and answer questions. The AI Pen also has a number of other features, including laser ink projector that can display a visual interface onto a user's palm, a built-in speaker and microphone, a battery life of around 9 hours, access to a suite of AI-powered services from Humane and its partners. The AI Pen has everyone talking. In a world where we all know we should be looking at our screens less, we now have a product that might help us do just that. Let's talk about this ad, though, and this video placement that they did. In a 10-minute video, it was done in a very Apple way. They use engaging script, and B-roll video to really pull you in. They showed something so simple as just a tap, bringing it back to how Apple talked about their home button in their original devices. It was really done super well, and I think Humane is a new brand to watch. What do you think, Samir?
Yeah, I think this is a really awesome brand highlight. I've been seeing so much conversation about it as well. What is going to beat Apple iPhone? Like, what is it going to take? And I think I think this is sort of the industry accepting that you can't outphone Apple. It's going to have to be something else. Apple will always excel in the iPhone technology. They will always steal from Android, but they will make it better and they'll make it bigger, and they're going to do it in a really profitable way. So playing against Apple, even against Google in the phone game is just not going to work. But I think this is something that's going to be brand new. It's going to take some time and some education to teach people about what it can do. And that's always where marketing and advertising plays. So I love to see what that's going to come out to. But this is really interesting. I think Apple might actually have something to focus on as a competitor outside of what they're known to be good at. So this is definitely something to watch. And this is I expect us to be talking about this next year and then the year after. Like I think this type of technology is really going to change the game, especially like you said, people are kind of wanting to rely less on screens, and could this be that replacement? I think that the headlines are all polarizing, right? Can this replace the phone? Oh my gosh, can you imagine something that can replace the phone out there? And this has the full grounds to make that claim. It's super cool.
Yeah, I loved how they, right in the first 2 minutes, they said, we have no apps. There are no apps. Everything is just built in. You pay a monthly service. It's on the T-Mobile network. And you get a phone number attached to it. So you can take calls and texts and everything. But they really want you to not worry about setting anything up. There is this suite that you can log on and see things and whatever, your pictures and whatnot. But everything's just built in, and through that cloud you can get access to all the various AI plugins all the big tools that are out there now. It's all just built in.
All right, for my brand to watch, for those of you that are watching the recorded video, you'll notice this light bar right behind me I've added over the last couple of weeks. That's the brand that I'm watching. It's called GoV. They are a light brand that makes a bunch of different light products in different shapes and sizes. They were found in 2017. They have over 355 patents with over 18 million registered users in their app. They are a smart light system connected across virtually all smart home bases. And they are the top 5 growing electronics brand in North America. They are a design winner, and they have really mastered bringing together a high quality product, a high quality service, and they've built a community within it. What I really liked about this system is that when you, as a GoV user, you can actually leverage and use the product itself to create art. These devices have millions of colors built into them. A lot of different patterns, can respond to sound, and they allow users to create their own sequences and patterns and share what they have created with other users. So within the app, in the community, I can build the sequence I want to build custom for me, and share that exact same pattern with the rest of the community. And this library has just created an endless amount of sequences that you can now include. I think it's a super smart thing. I never thought that I could see light become its own social network. And that's the way to describe it, that these are built as forum pages where people are just building their own designs with this canvas of these light strips, sharing what they've created. People can copy them, people can improve them, change them, modify them, complement them. There's a ranking, there's kind of thematic light sequences based off of kind of different seasons of the year, topics. So I think it's just super smart of what they've been able to do. I know there's a couple of these light brands out there who are very similar in this space. I think Philips Hue does a lot of this, kind of the bigger brands. But I really like what GoV is doing. I think the patent technology behind all of this, I think it's super cool. So that's my brand to watch. I'm going to get more of these light strips. I would love to do this more in my office. So really cool stuff. Good job, GoV.
Yeah, this is really neat. And I still have my box sitting here. I think you and I got it on Prime Day earlier this year, right? Or a month ago or 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't set mine up yet, but when you look at their site, they do have various levels of lights and gaming lights and everything. They're pushing Christmas lights right now and everything too. All right, looks like episode 21 is in the books. We kind of missed Salim this week, but I think we got through it. He's our resident negative Nancy, so we missed you, man.
Those dud takes make a good debate, so definitely missed it.
He definitely pushes us to do better. But we got some fun stuff coming up for all the nerd listeners that we have that enjoy more of the deep dives. We have an interview with the CMO of Salad and Go coming up, and then we also have a deep dive into rhetoric, and it's just talking about the different forms of rhetoric and how brands use them. So with that being said, follow us where we are, all of the platforms, everywhere we are. We truly love the support. Stay fabulous, guys.
See ya.
Men go mad.
He's gone mad.
Mad Men.
You're mad.
The man's mad.
Mad Men.
I'm mad.